Monday night live show doesn't get better than this because there's some historic stuff going to be hitting your screen soon. I hope it's not in a bad way for Indian cricket fans joining us right now. But look, we're going to be talking about everything that matters, of course, in the week that's gone by and looking forward because remember, 1 month away from the grand showpiece in India. I'm talking about the ODI World Cup. India need to submit their squad. And we'll, of course, give you our own squads. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the current India-Nepal game. And if Nepal can actually defend this 230 that they've got, we have some Nepal fans joining us. We'll speak to the Nepal coach himself, Monty Desai. And, of course, the best of the rest segment will cover various topics. Mitch Marsh, Rakeem Cornwall. You guys know the drill. And, of course, Akshay's fun quiz. Speaking of Akshay, good to see you, my friend, Mr. Kumaraswamy. And, of course, as ever, in the yellow background, Nikhil Popat returns to the MNL as well. Guys, give this quick like to this video. I should say a quick like, if those words can exit my mouth properly. But look, plenty of comments coming through as well, which is good to see. I want to talk to you guys about that World Cup 15 because 15 guys in 144 crore people will be picked. So who are the 15 guys? And I just want to ask Nix for starters. This Asia Cup doesn't tell us anything, right? We've already figured out a 15. Are you confident?
Yeah, as long as I'm able to hold my catches, I am confident because I don't think I've seen this stuff before. But yeah, I think it's very obvious. The 15, it's very, very straightforward.
It is obvious, at least some people think so. But Gautam Gambhir also had his chance to name his 15. And I don't know if you guys saw it earlier. He's gone for someone like Washington Sundar. Whether the boys or I have Washington Sundar in our 15, only time will tell. But Akshay, lots of comments coming through. Can you just tell all the lovely viewers like Chuchant, Vasant Narayan, Jyoti, who else? Nikhil Baiju, all just to wait and be patient because we'll always take their questions in the 12th man segment, right?
100%, guys. Just wait. Avnish is, and by the way, I mean, before I could even go to that, shit's really gone down south when Avnish stops supporting India. Today, Avnish, for a change, was like, you know what? Maybe I'm fine with Nepal just winning the game. Avnish he was probably this close to supporting Nepal in the beginning.
You
he was cheering for Kushal Bhurtel's 6. You were cheering for it.
I was. You know why? Because Somesh kind of got me animated because he was telling me about how they're kind of still being such, I wouldn't use the word normally in Monday Night Live, but they're being such dicks to Indian fans in terms of all the ticketing, rescheduling. That's why I feel like the Indian cricket team should lose and serve a bigger purpose. But no, let's not go there. We'll, of course, talk about the India-Nepal game. But I want to kickstart the show, boys, by, of course, putting my creative out in terms of the World Cup 15. Then we'll come to yours individually. Now, I've gone for pretty much usual candidates, but there is a couple of changes to what you guys have gone for. I think those are in the 15, let alone the 11. I've actually included Sanju over Sky, and I've actually gone for Prasid, and I don't have Shami featuring as well. I've gone for Prasid purely because we play against New Zealand, Dhamshara, play, I think, in Kolkata, we play in Bangalore. So you'll probably need Prasid to just play those games, I'm guessing, on the surfaces, but I could be wrong. I know Shami always has an affair with the ICC playing their tournaments. But this is my 15. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. And then I'll come to the boys as well. I want to showcase Nikhil's 15 next because he has Akshay Patel, of course, like I do, but he's gone for Shami and Suryakumar Yadav. Nikhil, why are you going for Sky? Because we pretty much agree in the same 11s. Is there no space in your heart, let alone your squad, for Sanju Samson? He's such a nice guy, bro. He has a better smile than Surya.
Just being very, very practical. Post 2019, I am like Anand Bhai from Mona Bhai. The subject doesn't feel anything inside, but while it may respond to some of the things that happens on the field. But I feel you've given him enough time in terms of Sky. You've tried every position possible to get him game time, and now if you don't take him along, it is things are going to hit the fan. So if Kale is not fit, then I 100% take Sanju Samson with me. But then Ishan Kishan is also kept and he played that one game very, very well. So today I'll just skip the entire team because I think they just forgot to turn up with the ball and in the field. But otherwise, I think this is probably the 11 that we will see, and that's what I'm going with. This is not the 15 that I want. This is the 15 that I think will happen.
Yeah, let's just, of course, tell the viewers if they're just joining us, this was Nikhil's predicted World Cup 15. Now, we're doing this exercise. I call it an exercise because India need to submit their squads to, of course, the ICC 1 month prior to the tournament, which starts on the 5th of October. So that's Nick's and mine done. We, of course, have, last but not least, Akshay's squad. And he's gone for Sanju and Prasid as well. So basically, Akshay, as you guys know, I mean, I don't know, he's a copycat, pretty much picks everyone. But you've not gone for Akshay Patel in your 11. But that's surprising.
Just 1 minute. Music. Play.
If you guys just go back to the 15 so that I could also look at the 15 that I've sent out.
Is this your 15?
Alright.
Because honestly, you just copied it, bro. I mean, mazak
Yeah.
chal raha
So how do you say like number 14? Who's the number 14?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Akshay Patel doesn't feature in your 11 now. You have
doesn't feature in my 11. All right, fair. Yeah, I don't need too many spin options to begin with, and I'm genuinely tired. Like, the thing is, the more you bring Akshay up, the more it seems like I'm an Akshay fanboy.
But you are.
All right, we'll save that conversation for another day. But in terms of picking my 15, unlike Nick's, I've probably gone for a 15 that I would like to see, and not sort of the 15 that BCCI would eventually go ahead with. I do understand Shami most likely will get the nod given his experience and all of that. And ironically, last week it was me who was actually saying, I probably would prefer Shami over Prasid, and you both were like, Prasid actually probably would add more value in the World Cup 15. But the more the more I've seen how the Indian team has fared, and the more I gave it some thought, I feel Prasid would be more complementary to Siraj and Bumrah than Shami, because there'd be a massive overlap in terms of which face Shami would prefer bowling when you compare it with, say, the likes of Siraj and Bumrah, as opposed to Prasid. Prasid, of course, he also adds value with the new ball, but he's also equally effective in the middle overs. Those hit the deck, his hit the deck skill set would really help in the middle overs, and that's where I feel India would need some sort of enforcements. Because if you saw even in the, if you saw even today how we bowled in the middle overs, I probably might not have caught a lot of it, but I'm pretty sure we weren't just as penetrative as we would have liked.
It is. You said the right word. You'd have not caught it well. Nobody has caught it all in this game.
Literally pun unintended this time. But yeah, and for Sky, I just don't see Sky ever making it to the 11. And then I know would you sort of see Sky being even a horses for courses choice. That's where having Sanju Samson as a backup for Rahul makes more sense for me. I know Ishan Kishan played a magnificent innings day before yesterday.
But dare I say, any of the big boys get injured, or Shreyas example again, then Sky is a perfect
Sanju.
Right? I think Sanju.
Yeah. That's where I feel it's Sky, because he's yet to crack the ODI format, and this is something he himself has confessed. This is not my opinion. Given that, knowing all of this, why would you try and test Sky in the World Cup? Haven't we learned enough from the 2019 World Cup that straight away bringing players into the World Cup is not the greatest of choices? Especially
but then won't it work for Prasid also? Because you've not tried him, you're going to directly test him in the World Cup.
Agreed. With Prasid, the reason I'm backing Prasid over Shami is because of his skill sets. With Sky, if he had between the two, I agree with you that Prasid also has not been tested, which is why I felt Prasid should have been a part of the Asia Cup squad in the first place. But if I'm solely looking at it from a value add perspective, Sky does not add value, any more value than, say, Sanju Samson, and at the same time has not been tested. With Prasid, you at least know that he can add value. So that's why I prefer Prasid over Shami. But yeah.
But guys, one of the guys in the chat has made a point that there's no left armour. Nikhil goes on to say that. And I just want to ask you, because I alluded to Gautam Gambhir's 15 as well. He's gone for Washington Sundar, basically going for an off-spinning option as well. Do you think we should look at that, Nikhil? The fact that there's no left armour, there's no off-spinner, and that those could be potential chinks in India's armour, or not really?
I think it is just too far late to wake up to that fact that you don't have a left armour. And it's, again, sometimes the media doesn't help. These are like random 15s at times being selected by players. Of course, everybody is entitled to their opinion, but then where are you going to try? Are you going to say in the Australia series, you're going to try a left arm seamer and then see if it fits? See, the thing with this 15 is, at this point of time, this is possibly the best ODI 15 or 16 or 17 that you can have in the country.
Yeah.
And they have playing this format and they've done well. So rather than sitting and hoping that let's get a left arm seamer in, let's get an off spinner, it's not there. The last India was Sundar, he wasn't fit, he went out of the system. Ashwin last played in 2022 January. There is no time to experiment now. Back the best possible talent in your country, and then for the next World Cup, let's have a better pool. Let's have a better set of variety in terms of every pool to have left arm seamers across formats and not just in one.
Okay, forget the left armour then. What about Kuldeep Yadav? Because I know he's also the only wrist spinner we've all chosen.
Yeah.
And there's no talk about Chahel. So in case he gets injured, it's a long tournament. It spans over 7 weeks. Akshay, Chahel, another spinner, maybe? No?
Again, that'll be too much of a change. He's not really done anything of note. Also, Jadeja offers that batting value, and we've already spoken like we've spoken to donkeys years that India doesn't have batting depth. Bringing someone like Chahal in only exacerbates that. Like, where would you feel Chahal in the 11? If Chahal is going to play, Siraj is going to play, Bumrah is going to play, and Kuldeep is going to play, you're essentially playing 4 number 11s.
No, my question is, in case something happens to Kuldeep, can India kind of pencil in a guy to come in, or do they have to rely on what they have on the bench?
So you're saying, oh wait, you're talking about if Kuldeep gets injured.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, just like how in cricket we say we cannot, sort of place a field for edges, you cannot prepare for injuries, man. Like, no one thinks of injuries. Like, your primary focus is on building a squad that's well-rounded in and of itself. Ideally, having backups for each and every player would be great. But again, we don't have, like, if Chahal could bat or could offer more value apart from his bowling, then maybe, yeah. But the fact that his primary skill, like his bowling itself, has taken a dip in international cricket, this you can't really have him, right? You can't afford to have him right now in the 11.
Okay, I mean, it just makes you think because India, the deadline day, so to speak, is tomorrow. So catch us in cricket.com. There will be someone who, of course, will provide the written form of that commentary whenever it happens. I'm guessing it'll be standard 1:30 p.m. IST that will know the 15 guys who are probably going to be the guys to win India the first ICC title in 10 years, dare I say. But look, that chat can wait, but you guys can get us, let us know, I should say, in the comments so we can pin the best ones in terms of all the World Cup chat, and we'll leave that there. Right now, because it's a Monday night and it kind of coincides with the India-Nepal game, which is, of course, happening for the first time in ODI history, India take on Nepal, it's only fair that we, of course, bring some Nepal fans on board and make them feel special in terms of what they've actually seen their cricket team play in the Asia Cup. It'll be fascinating to also hear from Monty Desai, their coach. We've done a special interview with him. We'll plug that in shortly as well. But right here, right now, can we please ask you guys to like this video and subscribe if you guys are new before we get the Nepal fans on board. Before I get Samraat Mahajan on board, I just want to ask Nikhil and Akshay a little bit about that first innings that we saw. Do you think the game was fixed?
Look at that. Way to be
slyly putting it there.
No, way to be sportive, Avnish.
I was just trying to be subtle, man. What do you mean?
Yeah, clearly very subtle.
They've dropped dollies. They've not managed to rig the bloody DRS system because even the couple of ones that Nepal effort went in their favor, which is good to see. But jokes apart, though, Nepal's batting was brilliant, dude. Honest to God, they're brilliant, Nicks.
Yeah, 100%. Lots and lots of positive vibes from them. They got dropped. That's not their fault. But the way Bultel, Asif Sheikh, and everybody, even Sompal coming down the order, they took on the short ball. It was refreshing. Like you said, you were cheering for that six because you know that it is sometimes you can get the occasion get to you, but they did not let that happen. There was early movement. There were a few chances. India didn't take it. Then Nepal took their chances. And it was so good to see whenever there was a bad ball, there was no hesitancy. And there's a loud crack of the bat that the ball is going to the fence, go fetch that. And I think that was very good because I don't think India were quite awake to the occasion with the ball. Some of the bowling was terrible. I usually try and avoid this kind of assessment, but I feel they were just not, I don't know, ready or awake or being there in that moment to take those chances. Shreyas Iyer's catch, Virat Kohli's catch, Ishan Kishan's catch. Those are all sitters and you want to take them. So if they wanted to bowl a lot, they for sure bowled enough.
Yeah, two things come to mind. One was the fact that these dollies have been well documented already in terms of the short span of time on Twitter, 6 hours. and counting, and people are already kind of heckling them, and rightly so, because India's catching efficiency since the last World Cup has been absolutely bang average. The second worst among all the 10 ODI World Cup teams. Pakistan have one way better than us. I think ours is 75% catch efficiency. Pakistan is 81, and I think on top is England. I might be wrong, but we'll fetch you that stat, and you can get more of that. But I just want to ask Akshay a question before I get Samraat on. People watching this, right? They might be watching this in Trinidad. They might be watching this in London, Chittagong, Sydney, wherever. India, Nepal, they're watching this game. They're thinking to themselves, dude, are Nepal actually so good that they can score 230 against the best Indian side, barring Bumrah? Or is India that bad that it's actually a cause for concern going into the ODI World Cup? If you can't bundle out teams, with all due respect to Nepal, what chance are you going to stand against your big boys in terms of South Africa, England, New Zealand, Australia, Akshay?
To be honest, I wouldn't read too much into it. Definitely kudos to Nepal. And I'm a sucker, for all these stories to see underdogs rise up. And like I said before also, I'm rooting for Nepal bundling India out for like 100 into. This is something I predicted last week. So let's see what happens. But I wouldn't read too much into it. India were definitely extremely complacent. I'm not sure if it was them being complacent because of the opposition, or was it, I don't know what else was it. But yeah, especially the catch that Kohli dropped, like Ishan Kishan, both Kohli and Ishan Kishan, I still can't sort of imagine catches like that being dropped. Like, they were as straightforward as they come. And there's only so much you can sort of crib about, because not the greatest of performances. But as an underdog supporter, couldn't be more happier. And seeing Kushal Bhurtel with 6, you guys remember who my X Factor from Nepal was. So
yeah, you know who my X Factor for bloody Bangladesh was? He won the man of the match yesterday, so don't tell me.
You went for the most, like, I wouldn't say obvious, but yeah, it should be obvious. When we say X Factor, we're talking about players who haven't shown it so far, but you've seen something in them.
Our X Factor is also gone for duck and won in 2 games. So let's wait.
Exactly. But that's the point, right? X Factor का वही है कि जब चलता है तो चलता है, नहीं चलता है तो वो भी है. Maybe Hassan Miraz is, I don't know. That's like India's X Factor is Virat.
Bro, okay, fine. Let's see what Karan Casey does, because he's bowled a decent first over, and that's a perfect time to get the Nepal fan on board. Before that, just catering to the comments, lovely comments which were trickling in earlier. Jyoti going on to say, at the toss, Rohit said we want to try our bowlers. Clearly, India took them for granted, too complacent. This kind of attitude isn't healthy. Haven't you learned all these years that cricket is a funny game? Then cricket going on to say, Shahid only 4 overs. What is this? And then I just love Pranav Anand saying India won the toss, chose to field horribly, and everyone's just going mad. Shubham Sharma saying absolutely pathetic and all of that. And people obviously going to slander me. It's welcome on a Monday Night Live. It's always fine, because I know this football chaos which is always happening. And even Gurkirat. I didn't know Gurkirat will get into the comments and slander me. No Karnataka quota, sir. There's a Gill quota, and I know you defend Shubman Gill just because your last name is Gill. So, Gurkirat, you can hold on to your horses. I'll see you in the post-match show, Gurkirat, if you can be on time. Sorry, go on, Akshay.
No, there's one more nice slander comment there. All right, this you one. Just no,
this one,
no,
right,
wait.
This one.
No, I wasn't referring to that. Fine, we can take this comment first and then go to the next one.
Okay, yeah, sure. I've eaten a lot of Center Shock, bro. You remember that ad way back in the day? Shock laga, shock laga. Okay, anyway, enough of my fluff. Let's get, of course, the special fan from Nepal joining us right now, Samraat Mahajan. Samraat, good to see you, man. You must be delighted of what's gone on. 230 on the board after being inserted in. Rohit Podell, your captain, going on to say one of the greatest ever days in Nepal cricket. Do you agree with those thoughts, Samraat?
Yes, absolutely delighted. Are you hearing me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, nobody was thinking that we going to score 230 against India, that too after that symbolic performance against Pakistan. I think what we did right was to attack the ball whenever we had a chance. Yes, we had a few lives that the likes of Shreyas Iyer and Virat Kohli drops. This was relatively easy. And mind you, because I have been supporting India for the last 20 years, so it's a kind of mixed feeling that I'm actually supporting against India for the first time in my life. So I had a mixed emotion right now. From supporting Sachin Tendulkar to from supporting Rohit Paudel right now, that too against his own idol Rohit Sharma. That's kind of mixed feeling for me, and as well as some of the players who are playing right now, because the likes of Airi, likes of Paudel, they all idolize some of the Indian players, like from Dhoni to K. Rahul to Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. So they must be having a bit of butterfly feeling in India so much. But despite that, some of the shots the Kushal Patel, Sompal Kami have played against the likes of Mohammad Siraj and Sadhu Thakur. That pleases almost every 3/4 people watching right now, because uh, having watched IPL for now 15 years, we never have thought that we were going to play against India, because the only opportunity to play against the India was be it in a World Cup or a Asia Cup, and we haven't played Asia Cup. So to score 230 was a big commendable effort. Yes, I think had Sompal Kami was not out, maybe we could have target 250 somewhere. But still, I'm happy with the 230. And you never know, a couple of wicket early on, you might know that we might have a surprise package for India.
I mean, we've seen stranger things happen, Samrat. I just want to ask you, right, being a Nepal cricket fan, what was the mood like earlier in the afternoon? Because you're looking at the score, 65 for no loss in about 10 overs. Were you guys thinking it's a situation too good to be true almost?
Yeah, to start with, that start was a bit surprising, because especially after that first over from Sain Afridi, we thought that the likes of Sami and Siraj would also pick a couple of wickets to start with. But to our surprise, our batter played really well. Yes, as I have already said, we were a bit lucky as well. So luck was with us. So, but despite that, some of those short selection were much more confident, and they are not overawed by the target upfront. And compared to the game against the Pakistan, we were batting first, so the pressure was not there to chase the big total. So I think that helped our batter to play freely today.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough. I
also
mean,
just to
go on.
add to that point, do you also feel the start kind of helped calm down the nerves? Like when you're going so good, it actually also gives confidence to the rest of the batting lineup that let's not get overawed by this situation. See, they have done it, we can also do it. And you saw that confidence right through. Not all of them would have gotten the scores, but everybody looked like they were confident, and they were more than happy to put the bad balls away.
Yes, I think that start was very important. Although the likes of Rohit Paudel fail again today, but you can see the likes of Gulshan Jha and Oiri Chibin with those 23, 20, 29. I think, yes, that confident start by our opener did help our lower order batters to set a platform for a last 10, 15 overs.
Okay. Samrat, it's good to be hearing from you. I want to get across to another Nepal fan who I will in just a bit. But my final question to you, Samrat, is A, how long have you been supporting your beloved Rhinos? And B, what do you see them as a future in terms of the world of cricket? Because they made the Asia Cup onwards and upwards, I guess. When do you think Nepal will probably play the 50 over World Cup, dare I say?
I think I supported India first, even before supporting Nepal. That sounds funny because uh, cricket was not popular back then. I'm talking about early 2000s. So I started watching from 2002, 3 around, when uh, that 2003 World Cup happened, and I actually started supporting Nepal from 2005 onwards, and then so it's been a good part of 18 years. And talking about future, we really do have a good future. As you can see, the average is in this square is 21, 22. So, and the likes of Oiri and the Sandeep Lamesan and Sompal Kami, they have few gigs at a global T20 league, a few at the PSL. So, but we we still need a lot of matches, be it against India A, Pakistan A, those emerging tournaments that will really help us. And as you can see, uh, when we played the first match against the Zimbabwe, we posted 290 something against, and I think nobody even in our country was probably hoping that we are good enough to score 290. But yes, the same pair of Kushal Patel and Asif Sheikh, they put, I think, around 100 around target, and it helped us to get those 290. So that was a good to start with. And then we also scored something like a 200 odd against West Indies. And yes, West Indies posted something like a 350 something, but still to get those 200 290 run against a test nation is a good boost. And so we would need a lot of matches against maybe a Ranji team, maybe against some kind of A team. So I think the future is good, but still our board need to invest more on our infrastructure and more on a player as well.
I think some fantastic points summed up by you, Samraat, and onwards and upwards for Nepal. Because, like you said, if they get more games under their belt against quality cricket sides, like I mentioned, it'll just be beautiful. Samraat, enjoy the rest of the evening. I know there's rain kind of spoiling the show, but I hope you guys are going to be smiling at the end of the night, wherever you guys are. God bless you all.
Absolutely enjoyed. Thank you for inviting me.
Cheers.
Thank
And
you.
subscribe to the channel. Tell all your beloved cricket fans as well to
Okay,
subscribe
sure,
to the channel as well. And we'll see you shortly, Samraat. Right, Samraat Mahajan, brilliant. What a champion that is. We'll move on from one champion to another because, look, at the end of the day, we thought we were going to give you only one Nepal fan, but that's not the case because we also have this man joining us right now. I'm talking about Dr. Sanjay Dharel, who, of course, has a fantastic cricket platform himself for all Nepalese cricket fans on Facebook, about 4 lakh strong. Sanjay, how are we this evening? I know that the rain has been kind of wetting your plans, but so far so good, man. You can't ask for more, can you?
Hello everyone, namaste. And we are exactly living the day of cricket today, playing against India, the powerhouse of world cricket, and the emerging team Nepal is playing at this level in Asia Cup. It's already a win for us, actually. Uh, let's not think about that extraordinary results, but that the most of the people here in Nepal posting a target of 231 is itself a win for us at present, actually.
Let me ask you this, Sanjay, because I don't know if you saw our match preview on cricket.com, and I was kind of jokingly saying that India will bundle out Nepal at 46, 7,900. I know I shouldn't do it, and I was joking, so apologies to all of y'all. But what was your prediction when you knew Nepal was batting first, and what were you happy with? Even if Nepal scored 150, 180, would you guys have taken it?
Exactly. My initial prediction was also around 180. Seeing the pace attack of Indian cricket, we have been following Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Sami from very early days, and likes of. We were afraid of actually, to tell frankly, that of Jasprit Bumrah, but luckily he is in his. Luckily he is out of this game for us as well. And seeing such pace attack of Indian cricket, we were thinking of around 150 to 180 plus runs.
Which is good. Now, the Asia Cup, you guys have entered it. It's a 6-team tournament, and well done for you guys because, of course, Asia is growing in terms of cricket popularity, and that's always been there. But in terms of the parts of Oman, of course, you have UAE and now Nepal. We asked Samraat before what he thinks should be done by the board for Nepal to kind of, accelerate this process of getting to the higher echelon of cricket. What do you think needs to happen for Nepal cricket, Sanjay? I mean, I know that Sandeep Lamichhane is a character who's played a lot of franchise cricket. Do you think more players are like him should probably play world cricket for them to kind of get a chance to have their say in bigger things?
Exactly. When Sandeep Lamichhane played Indian Premier League in from Delhi Daredevils, then a kind of wave created in this Nepal cricket domestic as well. Seeing Sandeep Lamichhane and his success, many youngsters come up with the vision that our children, or let's say the youngsters, step up to play cricket, thinking that future might be good. Seeing the success of Sandeep Lamichhane, so we must be thankful to the Indian cricket as we are very much close to each other. But this in this sport, the matter this doesn't matter. But when we play such level of cricket, then obviously a kind of confidence is gained at the top official level as well. Thinking about the collaborations, or let's say a meeting between the BCCI and the Cricket Association of Nepal. So posting such target and playing such competitive cricket and giving a kind of win in the world cricket will obviously help to convince the such cricket boards in the Asia, say BCB or BCCI, SLC, or even Pakistan Cricket Board. Recently, the success of Afghanistan Cricket Board has also pinched us because we were at the same level before around 2012. We even defeated Afghanistan in 2014 World Cup. So we are a bit behind, but on the right track. So getting into this Asia Cup obviously will push us. I want to tell a story here shortly as well. That reaching to this Asia Cup was also not that much easy regarding to the infrastructure. The people of Nepal were expecting a kind of qualifier here at home, because we always played a qualifier overseas. Always cricket has been always difficult for the Asian team. Let's say we were always deprived of the home advantage. So this time we were our cricket association of Nepal were able to maintain a ground of international level within a mere 2 months, as given by the time frame by Asian Cricket Council, and we were able to organize that qualifier 10 teams qualifier tournament, that is SCC Men's Premier Cup, in two venues. We already had one international venue, that is Tribhuvan International Cricket Ground, and another venue we were indeed actually as per the guidelines of SEC and the requirement. So we as well as our board came together and were able to maintain our international level ground, that is Mulpani Cricket Ground, which gained the ODI status of as a 260th ODI venue of the world. So in two venues we could host this 10-team tournament, and luckily we were at a very good run in the domestic ground that we recently played the World Cricket League Championship 2, and the back-to-back wins were also, boys were also confident in their home, and obviously that experience of home and that confidence helped us in the qualifier tournament. So it was a major breakthrough for us to host the qualifying tournament here in Nepal.
Well summed up. In fact, you took the question away from my mouth, Sanjay, because I was going to ask you about that remarkable story where the Nepal fan, Sanjay himself, helped to putting up that second ground in need to host the ACC Premier Cup. Brilliant stories that. And Sanjay, really appreciate you for making some time on this Monday, a historic Monday as far as Nepal is concerned, playing this one international against India. And we thoroughly had fun in picking your mind.
Yes, obviously, Nepal cricket futures is very bright. Recently, in our elections of the Cricket Association of Nepal, also in the Bagmati province, our former captain Paras Khadka has won the election in the president, and he is on the way to lead the Cricket Association of Nepal at an topmost level. So it will obviously help us to gather the cricket community all together, being the legend and servicing. Giving service to this Nepal cricket of 20 years. Former captain Paras Khadka is on way to mark his presence at the administration level. So obviously, this also gives us positive vibes all around here in Nepal. And regarding our support, fan support, obviously, I am the founder member of Nepali Cricket Supporters Society, which is running as an association, registered association here in Nepal, and it frequently participates in the cricket community programs and fan gatherings. And we are also being as a part of the cricket stakeholder in Nepal. We participate in different debates. We lay out our different demands in front of the cricket association also. So this has create vibrations all time in around our fan community, supporters community. So it's a great journey, and we are our cricket is on the right track. And thanks, very much thankful to you all that you gave such space to lay out our success. I was watching earlier that you all were smiling about talking about Nepal cricket. That was a very good sign that you showed such a support to us, because we are still emerging and but on the right track. Obviously, sport will later be the competitive one, but the support and the let's say push up will definitely create a positive environment here in Nepal. Thankful to you all.
Super
Thank
brilliant.
you.
I'll tell
Thank
you
you so
what,
much.
I can't agree with you, Sanjay. Thank you so much, like Akshay said. And we'll leave it there, Sanjay. Really, really appreciate you. And I don't know if you memorized that, but well done, man. Props to you and the entire Nepal cricket community. Sanjay was brilliant over there. And subscribe to them as well. We'll leave their channel in the description below. And all you Nepal cricket fans watching this, please subscribe to our content as well. We'd love to, of course, hear from you guys in terms of our community and our postings, so on and so forth. Fantastic chat there, guys. I mean, it just was kind of moving and touching. I think Pranavanam going on to say it was heartening and pleasant, surprising to see Nepal actually doing pretty well against Shopal. Not just that, their whole journey, right, Akshay? The fact that this guy, literally, who's built a cricket community on Facebook, he's gathered the rest of the fans to go set up a second stadium. Now, these are the kind of stories that you hear in sport in League Two English football, right? Like there was a recent club called Bury in Manchester, which was, of course, losing in terms of budgetary concerns. Similar situation with Nepal. They don't have that much of wealth and infrastructure, but the fans play such a big part. That's why I keep saying the fans are such a lifeblood of any sport. What do you have to say, man?
Yeah, I mean, to begin with, what was even more pleasing to see was the fact that fans were also being given that respect, that importance. They were actually being
Exactly.
heard of. Like, if anything, we are probably below Nepal in that sense, in that regard. As fans, we are hardly ever heard of. And it's so heartening to see the association, the Cricket Association, actually being open to listening to them. The fact that he mentioned, having debates, presenting their demands. Have you ever heard that happen with Indian fans? All we do is just rant on Twitter and then go back to our jobs. So it was great to see that. And I feel the onus is on boards like BCCI. What they did with ACB was commendable, and it is on them to also ensure that they help develop and sort of encourage cricket in Nepal at the grassroots level.
So basically, this is a perfect plug-in for the Friday features because it's something that Sanjay spoke about. It's about Nepal's new ground. He mentioned that they had the Tribhuvan University ground, but they've got another one called the Malpani Cricket Stadium. And the BCCI, what have they done in terms of help? They've given super soppers and things like that to Cricket Association Nepal. So they're helping in small ways. I'm sure there'll be a much more wealthier push from the BCCI and the other boards. Just to wrap up this chat, Nikhil, what did you make of the fans? Yeah, because you could hear it in their voice. Obviously, they've been supporting India for the longest time, but Nepal is some cricket story, right, Nikhil?
That's what it tells about fans. They are happy to give you everything that they can and they want, and if it's in their power, and which is something that I hope is never taken for granted, because I think a lot of sports at times just takes the fan for granted, because they feel that okay, whatever is doing, we are building this, but it's the fan who's watching, giving its heart, soul, blood to the team by watching. We may not have a direct impact on the results, but if you don't have fans coming to the stadium, you're not going to sell anything. If the fans at home are not watching you on TV or on digital, you're not going to have things to sell. So eventually the fans are always giving you, so it's about time the sport also gives it back to the fan.
Absolutely. I think I remember Afghanistan in that 2010 T20 World Cup when they burst onto the scene, and look at them 13 years later, and they're always kind of doing good things in their right stead. Lots of comments coming through as usual. We'll move on to the best of the rest segment right now. Sanjay Papigiri saying no BCCI officials are harmed during this conversation. Thank God for that. And Ram, what's with the hate, buddy, on a bloody Monday night? What have I said? No, what have I said which makes me a cringe/horrible host ever? Is it the spiky hair? Is it my well-manicured beard? I mean, what is it? Let me know in the comments. But look,
Is it the polished accent?
Is it the polished accent?
Is it the
It could be
obscene
anything.
support for India?
I mean, it
be
could be
anything.
anything. It could be me being a United fan. It could be me being, I don't know, just chatty as well. But Ram, all I'm going to say to you is subscribe if you're new, at least for Akshay and Nikhil. I'm sure they're not cringe and horrible like me.
And for Avnish, just for that cringe, man. Come on. It on days there are days when I also crave cringe. Come on, cringe is not that bad.
Exactly. Haters will always hate. So let's move on then to the best.
Just one thing to Sanjay. With regards to Sanjay's comment. I really hope BCCI officials are harmed, man. I really hope this hurts them. This hits them hard. The fact that they weren't harmed is actually more upsetting. Just wanted to bring that.
Harmed professionally. Let us clarify.
Yeah,
we
of
don't,
course. Yeah,
we don't want any malice over there. Like, we're not praying for them
True.
to fall off a staircase in Mumbai some afternoon. Maybe we are. But okay, let's move on to the best of the rest segment then, and talk about everything that you guys want to talk about, because I know Sanjay, Vasan, Santosh, all the cool cats, the regular cool cats have been asking us to talk about South Africa, Australia, England, New Zealand, Rakeem Cornwall. So let's have it in the next segment, which is called Best of the Rest. Right, at Best of the Rest, we normally talk about what's gone on the field and off the field in the week gone by in the game we love. And we have to talk about Australia versus South Africa because they're playing 5 T20 internationals, 3 of which are done. And it's 3-0 to Australia. Akshay, Nikhil, do you guys want to hear a cool stat?
Sure, all yours.
As ever, Australia, this series, has faced 52 overs, right? They've scored 580 runs or something like that, is what Anirudh Suresh told me. And basically, no South African bowler has bowled with an economy rate under 10 runs per over, which just sums up this series so far. But it also shows that Australia are flexing some muscle, and how, with this new side led by Mitchell Marsh, Nikhil. So what's up with Australia? And is this the future of cricket, where we're going to see 250s, 260s, 270s?
Firstly, they are playing 3 ODIs.
Oh,
5
damn.
ODIs.
Oh, damn.
So that's a stat corrected. But I think it was very refreshing to see the way Australia batted in all 3 games. I think South Africa also were wanting to do that, but I think it's just the depth that Australia have in their setup right now, and the form of players that one day you have a Matthew Short special, one day you have Travis Head coming off, 2 days you had Mitchell Marsh just absolutely gobsmacking whatever length bowling that was done to him. Some of it is also down to some, I would not say poor bowling, but it's just what South Africa have right now. They've rested a lot of their key personnel because they'll want to play them in the ODIs and for the World Cup coming. But in the SA20, you sometimes felt that, okay, they do have the personnel to take care of it, but I don't quite think in the bowling department they've done that well. I think Ngidi gets a lot of chances. He's someone that I really want him to do well, but there haven't been occasions where you felt that, wow, he's always going for a 15 plus in his first over. That can't keep happening. So there are things, and of course those were good batting decks, but then you are part of this for a long period of time to be able to find other ways. So Maharaj only played 1 game, Fortune played a couple, and Kodzi was good. See, people will forget whatever they want to, but I am not going to forget the Yorker that he bowled to Josh English, which dipped on him and got him bowled. I like of the 125-50 bilaterals that happened around the year. That is the one moment that will stay with me, because that is what you saw in the SA20. That is what you want to see. In regards to the 250, yeah, I'm not a fan of 250 play 250, but I don't think it was at that kind of surface. It was just that good batting and some brave batting as well at that to get to those scores. And it is a 6-hitting ground, Durban, so you're not going to expect anything else.
I agree. And Akshay, come in here, because look, essentially Australia, correct me if I'm wrong because I got the schedule wrong, but surely not messing up this part, which is Australia, they of course chased in the 2nd and the 3rd, correct? And they got that done respectively in the 15th over, chasing 160 odd, and they got it chased 119, 17 overs. And then they batted first in the first T20 international and scored 220 or something like that. So is it almost a given now, especially with the batting depth that they have, David, Stoinis, and just the works, that they're always going to blast teams out with the bat?
Definitely. I mean, they have the resources to do so. Like, you have Head, Marsh, then you've got in the middle order Stoinis, David. Aaron Hardy was a revelation. He was also not too bad at all with the bat. And that was good to see. Then add the likes of Green to come in. That's sort of, the kind of potential they have, because, David can double up as a bowling option. So can Marsh, so can Green, so can Head if needed. So
they have 10 bowling options, right?
Ask me about the bowling pen, dude. First game I had, first game I didn't give invest. Second game I said, okay, now let's go with Stoinis because he's doing well, and let's go with Head as vice captain. That game Stoinis doesn't bowl, and Head gets on a low score. So third game I'm like, let's not play this one. I don't know their bowling attack. Yes, Stoinis should bowl. That game Stoinis scores 37, takes 2 wickets, and Head almost gets a century. So, but again, I think that's just a norm. As you said, it's just become a norm that you You go in with so many options, something that we've discussed about another team in yellow, that they love to have these many options. The only thing that I feel may stop or harm Australia and England is the conditions in West Indies. And this is purely regarding the T20 World Cup. So if the conditions are where the ball is going to stop and come onto the bat, that's the only place these two sides may struggle. But again, the thing with that depth is, if 140 is par and you have this many options, if they execute well, you could still end up with 160 because you have those options. So I think that's where it is a better place to be in. But the plenty of bowling options is been I don't know. There is a better word, but I'll not say it.
And and one more thing to point out is the sheer Western Australia domination, man.
Yeah,
English,
Exactly.
like everyone, like I mean, I know
there is
some,
lobby everywhere.
but ये तो अलग level का lobby है, like the entire middle order, everyone. And this is a chat I was having with Anirudh as well off air, where we were talking about the fact that South Africa's bowling was also ordinary. I know Nick did not want to call it that, but Ngidi, man, come on, like it's like, and what was even more annoying was the way Mark Nicholas was just hyping him up. Like as if Ngidi is probably, you know, the reincarnation of I don't know who. Like we have to ask him, but it was just ridiculous. चल क्या रहा वहां पे, like South Africa's bowling wasn't the greatest. The squad selections, I have no clue why was Brevis dropped. Why did Fortwin bat in the top 3 in one of the T20s? Like they had a lot of random decisions that sort of you know, of course did not go their way for you know, reasons we know. But I wouldn't sort of I wouldn't look too much into it as a South African fan, if you know, if any one of them is watching, because they still have a team, a fairly settled team, like when it comes to the T20 side of things. This series was played by not their first 11, so to say. They still had quite a few players missing. Add all of them in, and especially getting the likes of Ngidi and all of them out, definitely, you know, would keep them in good stead. And Keshav Maharaj is coming back from injury. This was his first game, if I'm not wrong, from his after injury. So just give it some time.
I
And
just want to
also
ask
give
Nick about South
give Bahuma ODIs. Just give Tema Bahuma ODIs.
True.
If
And
you
now he
have
goes
Brevis,
for-
well, there is no point. There is no point playing Brevis down the order. See, I understand that they do not want to expose him to the newborn, but then that's the format to try. You're not going to get anything when you get
So
Bahuma batting
Nikhil, to take this one, because South Africa batting definitely needs to some time to get its potential, saying Sanjay. Stubbs, Brevis, and Ferreira excited, but still too young to be more consistent at this level. So how would you use these three in particular? Because Donovan Ferreira, we've seen him well in the SA20. Brevis, we know. And Stubbs also can pack a punch in all three departments.
Yeah, and as you said, see, these are three good names. You add Klassen here, you add Markram, and I'm hoping, please play Markram up top. Forget about the middle order spot. He's not working out there. Let's just open with him. That's what he did when he won the
Russo?
Cup as well. You have, again, Russo is still maybe a more Jaimatari character in terms of he has his high variances.
100 ducks, yeah.
So you're saying Markram should open with De Kock?
Yeah, and then you can rotate there in terms of if you want to put him at 3 or 4. My point is you have Klassen, Brevis, Stubbs, Ferreira, Riza Hendricks as well in the mix. Riza Hendricks had a great first game. So again, he'll also have his time, but then you have to balance it out in such a way that there are enough anchors and all of them are hitters. Yeah, the day Stubbs, Markram, and you have Marco Jansen who can hit a few down the order. So I'm not saying you're going to bat till 10, but you have options up top. Just use them better is what I feel.
But Van der Dusen also, I don't think he's for this format, right, Akshay?
Personally, I'm a big fan. I rate him really highly.
I rate him in ODI.
ODI, he's like, I was again of this off-air conversation I was having with Anirudh. I was this close to probably calling him the most complete ODI batter right now. Like he's very, very, very good. Very good. Like against pace, against spin. I know T20s, unfortunately, he's not been able to translate the performances as well as he should have, but like I really rate him highly. But yeah, it's fine. Like South Africa have enough options to not worry about, you know, him not coming good for them. This I agree with, and this was the point I was actually coming to. Ferreira, I'm still not sold on him, man. He's a great six-hitter. Even yesterday, he had 4 sixes, he had 1 4. But he's a very, very, very high variance player. And that one knock that he made on debut, the 96, he began with 4 drop chances in the first 10 or 11 deliveries. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, he's yet to sort of, like, I'm yet to be sold on him. So I wouldn't rate him that highly. Marco Jansen, for sure, a fantastic number 7, number 8 batter to have. Riza Hendricks, again, a genuine surprise because he had a horrible, horrible SA20. Like, Knicks would remember the knock he played against Sunrisers Eastern Cape there. Oh, man. He was struggling to get bat to ball. Duplessis, on the other hand, on the other end, was just scoring runs for fun, and Riza Hendricks just couldn't get bat to ball.
Oh.
It's good to see him come good.
Something Faf is used to now at RCB. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Shots fired. The shots
Shots
fired.
fired. No, but even Sanjay going on to say this particular thing is top 6, right? It looks very promising, dude. Very,
Ferreira,
very
number
promising.
3.
As in, not really number 3, but I'm saying
Not the
his
order,
top
but the
6
options.
Oh,
Yeah, the
options.
options that you have.
options
Fair,
for sure.
fair,
By
fair.
the way, Pranav Anand will take this question in the 12th man segment. So please keep your cricketing questions coming through. Really appreciate it, Pranav. You've been a top pro in the comments for a while now. And I think Nikhil also going on to say, not our Nikhil, but Nikhil Baiju, going to say RVD great number 3, not a T20
Completely
batter.
agree.
Yeah.
I like this dude, this Nikhil Baiju, because he's gone on to defend me also earlier.
Yeah.
When that Ram literally said Avnish is cringe and horrible, Nikhil said it's definitely the polished Bangalore school accent. They're just jealous of us. Well done, buddy. Well done.
I thought he was
Really
some paid
appreciate it.
bot. I thought you would set him up to put that comment.
See, Nikhils are genuine and honest. Taking one for the team.
Taking
All
one for the
right.
team. And Aditya Anand going on to say this. Look, more chat, more slander, always welcome on MNL. By the way, let's move on to, of course, from Australia, South Africa. Just to finish up that conversation, many people mentioning Maxwell, but is Maxwell a doubt for the ODI World Cup? Because there's some reports coming through earlier today saying it could be a big question mark. And if he does miss the ODI World Cup, Nix and Akshay, is that a big blow to Australia, or they have so many people that they can not even worry about it?
I'll just go first. Big blow in the sense his bowling value, what he offered in the top 6, no one else offers that kind of bowling value. And that would be something they would miss a lot more than his batting itself. It's the package that they would miss. Of course, they have Ashton Agar, Adam Zampa. Both of them have been good and are more than capable to sort of complement their pace attack, irrespective of conditions in the Indian subcontinent. But Maxwell's bowling, yeah, I'm not sure how will they be able to replace that. Like, who would they go for to sort of replace that part of him?
You agree,
Tim David.
Nix? Oh,
Tim
yeah,
David.
Tim David.
Because he's
I
been
mean,
great.
Tim,
See, the thing is, the problem there is they have a lot of options. Green, Stoinis,
Head
about
is
Adam,
there.
Head. There is Head. Again, he's opening. So I don't know
Yeah.
if they'll stick to Warner at 4 and open with Head. The thing
True.
with that spot is sometimes you could be starting on a very tricky deck.
Hmm.
And I think that's the only concern that they will have. For whoever it is, it could be Green, Stoinis, Abbott, Hardy, or even Tim David. If they are able to see out that part, I think they will be fine because everybody else has bowled. And I will not mind if Aston Turner plays. Aston Turner has very good India memories.
Yeah, of course.
Let's not go back to that match because it's not good. But I think he's someone who I feel has time and again saved his domestic sides. All pots, coaches, fans assemble. But somebody that I'll back if there is no Maxwell. But again, as Akshay said, Maxwell is your first option, and then you'll want to see if others can fit in that role.
Okay, guys, let's talk about England, New Zealand briefly because there's nothing really to talk about given the fact that's probably the only bilateral series which I think of which has 4 T20 internationals and 4 ODIs. Why can't you make it a best of 3, best of 5, best of 4? Kya hota hai? I don't understand.
It's England.
It's England. They always want to try to be cool, 100 Banalia from T20s and all of that stuff. Neural Hacks saying Ashton Turner is underrated. Thank you, Neural Hacks. Very positive comment on a Monday. By the way, it's a good time to plug in the cricket.com weekly newsletter because what this essentially entails is all the things that you guys want to read in the week gone by. Basically, a Monday Night Live, but in terms of a written form. What I would do right now is just try to share my screen just to showcase the cricket.com weekly September. So if you guys can see it, it's great. I mean, there's Rakeem Cornwall. There's pretty much everything which has happened. As you can see, Shriyanka Patil playing in the women's CPL, which is good to see. And then also some somber news, Heat Streak passing away and other great things. So it's all available on the cricket.com website, which is also available on the app. So check this out in terms of our weekly newsletter on cricket.com. So it comes out every Monday, just like the Monday Night Live, and it'll be fantastic to get your thoughts on this. Right, so that with that out of the way, gents, let's of course go back to our chat. And I mentioned CPL over there. And we're not going to talk about England, New Zealand, are we? Really? Is there anything? Let's skip
No,
that. Right?
no. Very
CPL
bored.
over England, New Zealand. If it's a choice between the two, then yeah, CPL over that.
I mean, the only thing from my mindset was that Finn Allen RCB element, but I was just like, yeah.
So
83
actually,
and all
great point.
Sri Lanka,
Great point.
I mean,
Really great
yeah.
point to talk. See, now there are many times where I felt that Finn Allen, and then you go Finn Allen.
yeah.
I'll
What
still
is
go Finn
where?
Allen in the second
Where do
two.
you stand?
See,
Yeah, I
Finn
think it's
Allen,
very enticing. Yeah, please,
exactly.
sorry.
He seduced everyone with that couple of shots he played to start the World Cup, right, against Stark. And everyone was like, this is the World Cup. We're going to see Finn Allen come. And of course, he got into the RCB squad. He had some reputation going into it. But every time I've seen him bat, every time I've tuned in, barring the last T20 against England, he's failed. That's why there's 83. I'm thinking, is it a start of something, Akshay? Is it something that Faf and Andy Flower can mold, give him milk and honey, palo, poso?
बस करो भाई, बस करो. कितना पोसोगे, कितना पालोगे?
Dabur is a sponsor, I think so. Yeah, they could.
They could. But what are your thoughts about Finn Allen? Jokes apart.
I mean, I wouldn't. The thing is, see, he won't fit in. Like he's always going to be a backup for Faf, and I wouldn't play him in the middle order. His role is to maximize the power play, and him coming in the middle order basically negates that. And this is where I would rather let go of him and use that overseas slot to get someone else. And Josh Inglis is someone I thought of even before last IPL auction. I'm talking about a keeper, middle order keeper batter. Unless I'm hoping that Vettori does, in good faith to RCB, does a good job of letting go of Glenn Phillips. And
But did we have Inglis at some point in time? He didn't play a game.
We've never had
Inglis.
Inglis.
He's part of the squad.
Inglis has never been a part of IPL. Inglis has never been a part of IPL. You don't need to test me on my RCB knowledge. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've settled that once and for all. He's not played. I'm guaranteeing you.
Are you sure?
100%. He's not been a part of IPL itself.
So, oh yeah, sorry, we had that Josh Felipe idiot. My bad.
That's Felipe. Yeah. And
my bad.
In fact, I saw a comment by Nikhil, if I'm not wrong, who even brought up Josh Felipe's name, and I was like, "Bhai, वो नाम तो मतलब Sydney Sixers वाले भी भूल गए अभी." Like he had a couple of really good seasons, but after that he sort of went off boil. But yeah, Finn Allen, ठीक है भाई. Like, he definitely has that baseball-esque swing, but yeah, he's yet to come up with a string of consistent performances. That's why someone like an Inglis could probably come good for us, because we need a keeper, we need a middle order batter. And yeah, sorry for bringing RCB in, but since we already brought in, I don't think we'll have a better segue to talk about Shriyanka Patil. I don't know if you got a chance to sort of see the highlights of a four and that ball to Haley Matthews in particular. भाई मतलब बहन अगले साल मुंबई इंडियंस के साथ भी प्लीज ये बॉल डाल देना, बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, बस ये कर दो.
What else? I mean, to really talk about from the women's CPL, anything else there? Because Shriyanka
Sophie
Patil, like
Devine century. Oh, that was a brilliant knock, man. Brilliant knock. And just that brute power. She's actually Chris Gayle, man. I know I don't want to compare it that way, but it's almost like if she's there, agar wo khel gayi to khel gayi, match khatam. She's that player. Just brute power.
That's
good.
what RCB also wanted, right?
Yeah, exactly. And too happy, and it was great to watch her knock. Apart from that, in the WCPL, I don't remember seeing anything else. Anything else that I'm missing out on? Maybe I'm being too RCB biased here.
No, I think fair. Limited matches only as of now. So yesterday's one was good.
Yeah. One more. RCB की बात चली रही. Erin Burns won the man of the match. Shriyanka got the FOFA, but Erin Burns got the man of the match.
I almost got a very good prize because I had her captain, and I also had Shriyanka Patil in many of those combinations. So again, one of the benefit of watching a lot of domestic cricket where you could feel those conditions are good for Burns to do well. So yes, and I agree. There is still a scope to have Shriyanka directly in the squad. I know many may not agree, but she's the first uncapped player to feature in the CPL. There is something that's there
exactly
that you are not seeing that others are.
And which is why it's even more upsetting to think of the squad that India sent to Bangladesh, man. I know even in hindsight it hurts just as much. Like literally they saw the WPL, whoever performed well, इनको नहीं लेना. इससे पहले जो खेले थे इन्हीं को लेके जाएंगे, जो होगा देखा जाएगा.
They didn't pick Saika Ishaq, right? In that
no one, literally no one.
But look,
even those who were picked were not used well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the CPL generally, I mean, if you guys are wondering or living under a rock, the women's CPL, just 3 teams. And like Nikhil said, it's a short tournament, 7 T20 internationals, I feel. And that's, of course, 3 teams, the TKR, the Barbados Royals, and Shriyanka Patil's team, which is the Guyana Amazon Warriors. So best of luck to all those participants, and good stories emerging from the women's CPL to the men's CPL, guys, because we did make fun of Rakeem Cornwall. We can all hold our hands up and laughed at that run out that he had in that first week of CPL. But boy, oh boy, hasn't he made up for it, Akshay and Nikhil, with that backdrop celebration after a 45-ball 100, which entailed 12 sixes and 4 fours. That means he ran, what, only 16 runs? Well done, Rakeem. Well
That
done.
is the point. Don't
Exactly.
run. There is no need to run. There is no need to take a single. Just stand there, do whatever you want to. That is what he can do. And in that time also, we said the mistake is not of him. The mistake is of Kyle Mayers to get him, to want him to take that run. Because when you have somebody, that is the perfect power play batting that you ever want to see. A guy can
Exactly.
hit, you can see those. And again, it is cliche. Some people look into it differently. You look at that single. Roman Powell was celebrating that century even before Cornwall
Exactly.
thought of
Yeah.
getting to that. It just tells you how much a good space that the team is in, and you want to see Cornwall do well. I mean, he's someone who
Yeah.
he's the perfect T20 guy, power play basher. Yeah, why else to use him differently in the middle order or somewhere else? Just give him the power play. Just let him bat and just enjoy the show.
I mean, they were chasing, what was it, 221.
221.
221.
And he's just come in, and I think he retired hurt in the end, poor fellow, but 48-ball 102 and a strike rate of 212. Akshay. I'm just trying to think about Gale's 175, right? And I quickly Googled it right now. Out of those 175, you know how much Gale scored with a bat? And how
What
much
do you mean
he
by
had?
with the bat? Oh, you mean boundaries and singles?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'd say 12 runs. I don't know.
No, so basically 154 the 175.
Wow,
was-
21.
Yeah, so 21 runs. So well done, Rakeem Cornwall. And like Nick said, the celebration from his non-striker was good, but even the fact that he just dropped the bat. The CPL is a good league, man. It just comes at odd times. Yesterday's game was like 5:30 in the morning. Just couldn't see it. But the highlights, I think it's the most viewed cricket tournament highlights package for sure. Santosh Shurpa saying Patriots still without a win.
Do you understand why he's bringing that up?
Yeah, I know. Because you
Why?
said St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots.
No,
You
not
said-
me. You don't know
I
why
didn't
he's
say
saying.
it. I didn't say it.
Ayo,
Oh, because
bhai,
of
but
Ambati Raidu.
no, because you know who the head coach is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I got it now.
A
Okay,
certain
okay.
Malo. Yeah, yeah.
I got it. I got it now. I
Uh,
thought he was poking fun at you, but which is all
No.
right. By the way, this I don't think will ever happen. If it does happen, it'll be fantastic. It'll honestly be fantastic to watch Sanjay,
Yeah.
Virat, and Cornwall to bat. Go on.
Just one thing, Pranav, excellent point. That ripper to Bates, the leg spinner. Oh boy, like for some reason in my head I'd confused Amanda Wellington with I'm forgetting now who was I confusing her with, but I always thought she was a slow left armer. Then achanak se I
Eccleston.
see not Eccleston, someone
Jonathan.
else. No, not John. नहीं कोई English ही है. I'm forgetting who, but I was genuinely surprised. ये कौन? And अचानक से देखता हूँ Amanda Wellington. I was like, wait, what? When did she become a leg spinner? But great ball, man. Great ball that was.
Yeah, it was a top ball indeed. Right, guys, almost done with the best of the rest segment. We, of course, have to still show you that little snippet of Monty Desai, the Nepal coach, who, of course, was a coach of West Indies a while ago, the Mumbaiker himself. He spoke to cricket.com's Pramod Anand in a riveting chat. Here's a little bit of that interview, which we'll, of course, post in due course. But here from Monty Desai is currently, as things stand, India taking on Nepal.
Let me say short balls. Everyone has been curious about short balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got few practice sessions in Karachi. That was good. We got to practice in the outside ovals of National Stadium, so it was ideal after coming here. So I think good quality long 3 sessions was build-up of what we are getting into now in Multan. So overall, we are ready, I think. All the coaches had good intentions, let me put it that way. And all the coaches must have tried their own ways of putting things in place. And what happens is that it's also your internal dialogue which goes on. I'm no different. I'm a human being. We do have challenges and constraints, and that comes along with associate cricket. So mentally, I was obviously prepared when I walked into this journey. And I keep saying this quote: "Walking into the unknowns with excitement." And that's where you probably also get more experienced because the challenges are different. I would give a lot of credit to all the stakeholders and players who are involved on the journey. And this 6 months, we have played probably 20 plus ODIs and got some desirable results. Obviously, qualifying for Asia Cup was one of the proud moments for us. And players are shaping up well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to have contributed towards it, mate. You know, people have participated very openly and very honestly. And we know what areas we want to keep on getting better at.
More on that from cricket.com's platform and YouTube. It'll be up this week. Of course, it was a precursor interview before the Asia Cup, but Monty Desai did speak his mind and some challenges that he, of course, endured in really putting up Nepal on the cricketing map. Guys, it's that time of the show where we've, of course, asked Akshay to be the quizzer that he is, the How's That segment for all you guys to win some prizes back home. So what are we waiting for? Let's get on to that segment. But it's a kind reminder for all you beautiful people right now. 2 things really quickly. 1, like and subscribe. And 2, keep your comments coming through because in the next 10 minutes after this How's That quiz, we're going to take some of the best ones and we'll, of course, spin the comments as well if you guys are really, really enjoying a lucky day. Right, so let's move on to How's That. Right, How's That? Is that part of the show where we kind of offer prizes? And Akshay, what do we have this week, my friend?
Yeah, before that, let me just sort of announce last week's winner and what the right answer was. So the question was, I'd basically put up an image, put up a graphic with, IPL centuries with a few hidden as well. You had to basically identify who the hidden names were and also say what the funda was. Funnily enough, only one person got it right. The reason why I say it was funny was because all of them were also all of them had a fairly decent guess, but that was just a coincidence. So the right answer was that all those centuries that were mentioned were the only instances of a player scoring a century against their former team. This was the right answer, which at user, again, a fairly complicated username, at
That
user
same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy. He's done an encore from last week.
No way.
User
So there's something going on with that guy because he's literally getting everything right.
But good on him, because everyone else guessed that RCB or Bangalore was in some way connected, and that wasn't actually entirely wrong, but that wasn't the answer. That was just a coincidence. Sorry about that, guys. So congratulations at user -SX5SI5MR6E. Wonderful job. Just get in touch with us on Twitter.
Congratulations to you, Akshay, for saying that user's name pretty swimmingly well. What do we have this week, my friend? Because I'm curious. I'm seeing the creative right now, and I can't wait for you to fire it up.
All right. It's fairly simple. The creative has everything there is to be said about it. So if you could just show it. Wait, there it is. I just need you guys to guess the funda. That's it. This is all there is. I'm not going to say anything. And guys, please make sure you're commenting on the main section. Please make sure that you comment on the main section, not in the live chat. That unfortunately won't help you at all. Make sure you've hit the like button, you've subscribed to us, and also make sure you comment on the main comment section. And yeah, all you have to do is guess the funda. Whatever clues you want, whatever it is, everything's here. It's now up to you guys to guess. And it'll be interesting to see.
I'm trying to be like cool and try to guess it earlier, but I have no idea. Because I don't know whether you're talking about the years, something to do with the jerseys. Obviously, there's Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum reference. But Nix, do you have a clue of what this boy's prepared this time around?
I could give it away, but there are a few images from similar years and some things that are common there.
So, one thing, good
please
point.
Clear it out.
Yeah. Just to be clear, you just have to look at, don't focus on the players in the image or anything.
Correct.
Just focus on the teams. Like imagine them to be logos. If it helps you, just think like you can just replace them with logos and they would mean just the same. We're just referring to the teams. And if you notice, Mumbai Indians have been featured twice. So to be clear, this is an exhaustive list of some funda. It's an exhaustive list. So these are the only teams to have been able to do something. And Mumbai Indians is the only team to feature twice in that list. Now it's up to you guys to guess. And yeah, if possible, also with the funda, if you can also guess the instances, the exact instances, then nothing like it. So yeah, make sure you guys comment on the main comment section. A question I'm actually proud of because it got a lot of our colleagues at cricket.com also thinking. And yeah, it was great fun to see them. Yeah.
No, fair play, and good luck to all the people who are trying to get this week's Howzzat right, I should say. So just for the benefit of all you guys right now, I'm going to feature it on the screens for 5 more seconds, and obviously you can take a screen grab or pause or rewind or however you want to watch it. Tell us the funda behind this, as Akshay going on to say, and you guys can win some fantastic merch over there. Right, so with that done and dusted, guys, let's move on to the segment that we all honestly love the most, which is the 12th man segment, because there's some fantastic comments, some fantastic questions, and that time is now. Right, so of course, keep your comments coming through. Yash going on to already have his say with regards to a chat. Yash, remember you have to comment, not
In the
live
main
comment.
section. Yeah.
If you think this is the winning answer, I have no idea. Akshay Smile maybe giving you a clue. No
Yeah,
clue
maybe.
whatsoever. But guys, let's cater to the 12th man in terms of all the fans and the viewers out there right now. We'll start with Ajinkya, who asked this. Now, he went on to see Nikhil's starting 11 out of his World Cup 15. And he said, did you know if the first 11 in Nikhil's World Cup team plays, all the players would have made their ODI debuts before the CWC World Cup? None in this cycle, which is interesting, which makes me go back to that Nikhil graphic, surely. Now, this is the graphic. I'll just take the comment off. Is that true? That is true. Oh, apart from Shubman Gill.
No, wait. Sky, Ishan, Kishan both made their debuts post the 2019 World
No,
Cup.
no,
right?
it's about the 11. It's about the 11, not 15.
Yeah, Shubman Gill made post the 2011 World Cup, 2019 World Cup, sorry.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Yeah.
Siraj ODIs also was post the 2019 World Cup, right? Or had he played ODIs before? I know he played T20s before.
Must have played 1 or 2 before, but I don't really think so. Anyway, we'll move on from that because it's a good shout from Ajinkya. Keep your comments coming through indeed. Now, boys, Nikhil Baiju has a lot of questions, but we'll take the first of his. He says, at this point, who are favourites for the World Cup? Let's be honest, guessing Australia, Pakistan, and England are the top 3. Do you echo those thoughts? Agree? Where do you guys fit in India if that's the case, guys?
Yeah, I think this is pretty much going to be it for many of us, at least in terms of Australia, England being there because of the depth that they have. Pakistan, if they can get the middle order performing with Ifti Chacha going along, but they still need wickets from Shadab and Nawaz. I think that's a spot where teams will look to target, and if it makes them plan differently with paces, that could really go a long way in helping others plan versus Pakistan. The fourth team you would want it to be India. Could be very first time that we're hearing this. It could be South Africa's here.
Could be South Africa.
Nobody's giving them a chance. Bavuma has the juju also that people talk about. So, and he's had a good year in ODIs. So hopefully, if he does well in these 5 ODIs, I'll be more confident.
Same, honest to God, same. Why don't we take another one from Nikhil Baiju? He goes on to that Australian topic because there's another Australian question from Earth is Best, Akshay. Do you think this could be the case? Because I know he's a really good gun player, to put it that way, but not in the ODI World Cup squad for sure. But after this World Cup, maybe they can look at Josh Felipe.
Yeah, maybe as a successor to Warner, because they'll definitely be looking to move past him. But the thing is, if like pecking order is another buzzword that a lot of teams like to use. I don't know where Felipe fits in because they already have a lot of backup squad backups ahead of Felipe. He's not even been a part of their ODI squad, let alone first 11s. So given that, it's really hard to see him make an international comeback anytime soon. When was the last time? 2020 that the Ashes, like the ODI series that England played, Australia played in England just before the IPL. So that was the last time Felipe was a part of the Australian setup. So it's been a fairly long time, man. So yeah, I
It's
don't
been a
see
while.
him.
Now, you mentioned Warner over there. Our Earth is best, asked Nix. Do you think Australia will open with Head and Warner in the World Cup?
I think I read somewhere that Tim Payne said that Warner they're looking at 5. That's where he batted in the last ODI as well in Chennai. Head and Marsh could be option up top. Not a wrong one as well. Most of the decks are good batting decks. They will be tested, but pairing Head and Marsh is far scary also as an opposition as compared to Head and Warner, because then you can bowl certain things to certain things, and Head and Warner are more in Head and Marsh are more risk taking as well. So it could very well not work. But as of now, I think Warner stays at 4. And just to clear on Gill and Siraj, Gill I think made his ODI debut in the New Zealand series before the World
Oh,
Cup,
just before, yeah.
and Siraj made his ODI debut in the Australia series at home just
Before the World Cup. Yeah.
same, yeah, before the World Cup. So well
Fair,
done,
fair
Ajinkya, on
point.
that
Fair
one.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Just was panning to some other questions over here. Which one do we take next? Because there are a couple of good ones. They're all kind of India related. And this lots of people, guys, saying Gautam Gambhir, middle finger flicking. What happened? Can you explain? Do you know the story, guys?
You actually don't know? Or are you just sort of feigning ignorance here?
No, honestly, I don't know. Honestly,
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
What
Wow.
happened? Enlighten me.
So, I mean, I saw this clip on Twitter. Basically, he's in Sri Lanka right now as part of the coverage, and yeah. So what happened was when he was walking back into the pavilion or whatever with his umbrella, there were huge chants of Dhoni, Dhoni, and he flicked his middle finger towards the crowd.
Who? Gambhir.
Yeah, just did this, and it's gone viral.
But what they were chanting Dhoni or Kohli?
Dhoni, Dhoni.
Oh my
We don't know what's happened. He's all I don't know. We'll hear from him, of course, sure about what made him do that.
He's already made his stay. He's also given his statement. I didn't
Acha.
read what the statement was, but he's already sort of justified it, saying कि मैंने तो भाई गलत नहीं किया. जितना मैं समझा, I couldn't read it in its entirety. But this video though was true. I don't think it was like doctored or anything. He flicked his middle finger and walked in.
That's insane. I mean, Gautam Gambhir, come on, man. You were cricket.com and my friend for a long time, but now after LSG, I can't believe it. He does support Man United, Gautam Gambhir, so well done to him. Mohammad Irfan going on to say, is this World Cup Maxi's last one, Nikhil? ODI World Cup, surely.
I think
T20
ODI
World Cup,
this could be
yeah, it's
actually
a last one for everyone.
last for a lot of people who we've kind of seen have their peaks and falls. So I think I'm expecting at least, let's keep a count, maybe at least 20 people to retire from ODIs after this World Cup is done.
I'm hoping ODI as a format gets retired. So yeah, you
No,
can
no,
also...
no. There is
Please, yeah,
enough.
World Cup, just World Cups, and yeah, sorry, Irfan.
What I'm
sorry,
saying is World Cups, and not no bilaterals, but tri-series or more than 3 teams playing
multinational, yeah,
together.
multinational
tournaments and World Cups.
देखते हैं, but World Cup तक ही सीमित रखते हैं. But Santosh, Irfan, sorry about that. Yeah, maybe it was chanting. Maybe they all were chanting Kohli. Kohli
yeah.
थोड़ा same ही होता. But he flicked his middle finger. That's the bigger point, not who the crowd was chanting.
No, but what made him react is also key. So again,
fair, ठीक है. So by the way, just to clarify, to Vasant, again, don't focus on the image itself. It's just the team that matters. Like, again, if it helps, and yeah, probably in hindsight I should have done that. Just think of it as team logos. Don't think of the years, the squads, and all of that. The players that you see in the image, they're just random. Like Mumbai Indians search करने के बाद जो भी पहला image मिला, मैंने वही लगाया. तो ज्यादा उसके ऊपर मत देखो.
Like
just focus
said,
on the teams.
He could have replaced those pictures with logos as well, but just for the aesthetic value, he's gone for team pictures. Let's wrap up proceedings because the Monday Night Live has, of course, as usual, after the second episode, gone way out of time. But look, that's how we kind of do it off the cuff on Monday night. And Nikhil, honestly, you've been fantastic. Not just our Nikhil Popat, but Nikhil Baiju as well. Because you've been pretty chatty in the comments, and we'd love to see that from all of you guys. So keep up the spirits and like this video first and foremost. Last one for the day, guys, and we'll wrap up Monday Night Live. Like I said, he says teams should go base heavy in the World Cup, considering spinners have averaged 44 in India in this World Cup cycle, second worst after New Zealand. Agree, Nikhil? With Nikhil?
I think invariably most teams are, to be honest, more pace heavy as compared to spin heavy. I think the changes will invariably happen only when you are playing at venues like Chennai or some other places where you feel there will be a lot more help for spinners. So in general, also I think that's where you don't even see more than two spinners playing even generally. And most of them is one is an all-rounder and one is a specialist bowler. Like you take an example of Kuldeep and Jadeja in that sense. Like similar to say what Pakistan is doing. They play Shardul and Nawaz. Both are more all-rounders than probably legit spinners in that regard. So I think invariably yahi hoga. There is a query and concern for Dew as well. That also sometimes doesn't make them play more than two spinners. So because then gripping the ball becomes a problem. So it will be pace bowling all-rounders as it usually is. And conditions will then dictate if you want to play more than three. Afghanistan will play, and they should, because that's their strength. But I think most teams, if their strength is pace, they'll probably stick to that.
And Nani Kaur going on to say, is it only me who has no hope in India and World Cup? Everyone's in that same boat, Nani. Don't worry.
See, I'll
about
say
everyone.
one line for India in this cycle, maybe post 2019, that it almost feels that we are immune to failure, or it feels like whatever will happen, you kind of feel that you knew it will happen. So in that sense, maybe it has reduced the expectations that we have, and maybe it has also put a bit of frustration also in that why are you not relating to the team as much as you want to? Maybe they have played too much cricket with too many different people. Some of the injuries also haven't helped. That makes you glued to them. That no, I want to follow what every team is doing across format. And there is not for me, and may it never be for me that there is too much cricket. But that has also played a part in terms of hoping and in terms of yeah, I really want to try to win. So hopefully they're able to go the distance, because when you don't expect is when India has done the best, at least in 83 and in 07 as well. So I don't know. Maybe manifestation if that works.
Manifestation, manifest it. Come on, let's all manifest it in this Monday Night Live. Just a kind reminder, all you guys, if you guys are going to be up later, we're going to be doing a Monday night review, I should say, for India Nepal, because that game has just been stalled at the moment due to rain. I can give you the DLS scenarios if that helps. 220 in 45 overs, 207 in 40, 192 in 35, 174 in 30, and 130 in 20 overs India will need if it really goes down and rains for another hour or so. So whatever it is, rewind this Monday Night Live and just watch it. It's just a regular episode. We had to shoehorn this in, and that's how it'll be on every Monday going forward. Nikhil, Akshay, you guys have been tremendous sports as ever on this show. Thanks so much for your time, and we guys will catch each other soon, because there's plenty of reviews and previews to do in this Asia Cup. So subscribe. What are you guys waiting for? Like this video, and of course, join us in all the future content that we will be putting out. Like I said, India Nepal, the review will hit your screens shortly. Right now, it's still raining like mad there in Pallekele, so we might not get a result. But let's wait and watch what happens. Whatever it is, check it out on cricket.com in terms of the website, the app, and we'll be back. Akshay, Nikhil, good to see you as ever. We'll leave it there, boys.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
And like it for the host. Like it for the host. See you.
Yep.
Like it for the host. Like it for the host. Like it for the rock music that I'm going to play out now. Rock. Or do you want some pop? Do you want some pop?
Let's end it. All right, enough.
Or do you want to feed the duck?
भाई बस कर
ये जेठालाल जैसा बंद कर.
Okay, fine. We'll wrap the scene up. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the show. That's all we have to say. Goodbye.